the conversation Dan and I are having with you, is it of value to you? Yes. Yeah. So we'll continue that conversation. We got some other things we want to share with you if you find value in it. And I'm going to just intersperse it right now with some of our members that have some really cool things that they're doing in the way of asking for referrals. And first, I'd like you to welcome up Kim Ward. Would you give her a big round of applause? Kim Ward, come on, Kim. Kim Ward, yes. You were in the green room.
Sitting.
Would you turn her mic on so she would be on? There we go. How are you?
Am I on?
I'm not sure. Is she on? You're on. Okay. Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you. Kim is, we voted her the most improved player of the year. Truly. Yeah, our whole team did. We looked
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we looked at all the Brovance members and looked at everybody that is a member of the community, and the most noticeable, the most apparent shift in way of being, and the amount of work that you've gotten done, the quality and the quantity of things that you've done to create the amazing business that you've created. So, hoo-yah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
really
very
well done. Yeah.
For the guidance.
Yeah, you've come a long way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So would you tell everybody who you are and give a little background before we get into our conversation here?
Wow, it looks different from this angle.
You do.
Hi, I'm Kim Ward, and I am a mother of 4 and a wife to Dave of almost 35 years. And I started in real estate about 14 years ago. Worked for a company and then decided to become a broker and develop my own boutique brokerage, Horizon Real Estate. I live here in San Diego. Let's see, I started in by referral only in 2008, and I've been a member of Brovance since day one. And what else would you like to know?
Well, when you looked at these mindsets, the 5 mindsets, and asked you to pick one that you really could embrace, you picked number...
What number did I pick? I have them already tabbed here. Sorry. Mindset 2, develop a referable consciousness.
Because?
I chose this because there were some things that I already had as a core way of being.
Right.
And the one thing that I work on is being more interested than interesting. You talked about that earlier, and I love that. You know, I guess I thought that sharing who I was with people brought them closer, and I had to learn that people would find me fascinating if I would just listen to who they are.
If you just shut up.
Yes, if I just shut up and listen.
Yeah, they would find you absolutely incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just listen to them talk about themselves. Yeah. Yeah.
So
how many of you have had that turning point in your life where you've realized that you have so much to say, but it really doesn't matter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My fascinating life isn't fascinating to anybody but me.
And I'll post it on Facebook.
Or maybe I will.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And then if you were to pick an amplifier, which one would you pick?
The amplifier I liked was using the word help instead of service. So amplifier number 2.
Yeah, because?
Because I use the word help a lot. Service just isn't something that I would ever really say. And then when I was taught by you about the word help and how people want help and I want to help, it just really resonated with me. So I really like that.
In your probate end of the business, that fits well too, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I even have it in my domain name, probateandtrusthelp.com.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about your expertise in that area.
My expertise that
not so much your expertise, but your passion for that niche.
So, I developed a niche business. It started in probate, and what I really love about it is there's people that truly need my help, and they're not just going through the grieving process of selling a house. They're going through the grieving process of losing a loved one much of the time. And many of my clients don't live in San Diego, so that it's really important for them to be able to trust me right away, which makes me feel good about who I am, that people trust me to do exactly what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it. And so it's developed into a very nice, viable business. And just to shift into a little bit of the boundaries we were talking about yesterday, I think, is that when I sit down and have an initial consultation with people, that may be the only time I ever meet them in person. And I talk to them about how I work, and I say that I typically work normal business hours, and about 5 or 5:30, I go home and I'm Dave's wife. And I work Saturdays by appointments and Sundays very infrequently. And people really respect that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what am I looking at here when we're, that this is in your workbook here? What are we looking at?
Oh, this has to do with the word help instead of service. And I use it a lot when I'm speaking with either personal representatives in a probate or their attorneys, that's how I talk. You know, I'm here to help you. And so that in a lot of the written things, my wonderful assistant Laura pulled up some of the written letters and emails that we send, and I asked her to just go through and highlight help in each of them. And I was really surprised at how many times I say help in the things that I've written to send to people. So it's really just examples of what you've taught us to do, which is, you know, help. So you say 17 times in the Beatles song. Well, here's 5 in each one of my little written
There you go.
things. You know? So it gets that point across.
You know, it could be Kim and the Beatles. There you go. Good. That's awesome. Yeah. And then when you looked at the exact ways to ask, which one is
That would be
a game changer?
game changer. Was mastering both parts of every transaction.
What page is that?
That is page, let me put my glasses on, 136.
Page 136. The 2 parts to every transaction.
So what I love about this is the product and the process. And over the years, you know, I started out at a certain place in what I was doing. And by being part of Buy Referral Only and Brovance, I've added quite a few things. You know, the video, I have a lot of evergreen videos that go out to the clients. So that manages their expectations. People know what's going on all the time. I implemented Michelle Edgington's, wherever she is, hi. I implemented her process of touch points to the clients so that they get stuff from us in the mail, they get stuff from us via email. I have a very specific phone call plan, very, very systematic business. And by having a systematic business, it's really delegatable. And
capture that thought. You can only delegate that's what is systematized. You systematize, then delegate. You don't delegate and ask someone to systematize it.
Yeah.
You systematize it and then delegate it.
Right. Yeah, and by putting a system together, you know, it's a changing system, but it's a pretty solid system at this point. There's very infrequent times where something comes up that isn't in the system, and when that happens, I just say, hey, there's a break in the system, and we put it in, and then it's in there forever. And you know, a lot of the things in the system aren't used for each specific client, but it's there, and it just gets deleted if it's not, you know, for that client.
Right. So the system is the process.
That's the process.
Yeah.
And I know that system's going to be followed because it pops up on our, well, the CRM we're using right now, but not for long. Well, not for long.
Thank you.
We're going to switch.
The My Clients police are here.
That's right. Well, because you're doing everything for us. So.
Oh, God, is that what it took?
Yes, it did.
I love you, but do more.
Yeah, exactly. It's about me. Yeah, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for building that for us.
Yeah, I'm looking for. We did it for you.
Well, I appreciate that.
We knew it was the only way you'd go to My Clients.
Well, it is. It's hard to change,
We knew that.
but if I'm getting what I need, you know, I'm changing.
We're all one team, and we did it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah. So the product and the process.
Yeah. So when the product is the room we're in right now, the lighting, the sound system, the workbook. That's kind of all the product that you're receiving when you're here. The process is how you felt when you came into the room. how you feel with the temperature. It's like, it's how you feel through how you feel while you're engaging with the product. You go to a restaurant, the food, and then how they treat you delivering the food. Like, I go to Cineplex over in Del Mar every once in a while, and I have this experience that I love the seats, but the level of service isn't equivalent to what they're charging me. The popcorn doesn't taste like $16 popcorn.
Jeez.
Anybody know what I'm talking about at the Cineplex? It doesn't match. The product and the process doesn't match. And I actually even said to the manager one time, I said, you're charging me like $20 to see this movie. You ought to hire somebody who's going to meet me that's equivalent to what I'm paying to have this experience. And I actually said that to him. I said, I don't feel like, I think I could have got that service at any movie theater, like a greeting, hello, some way of having a better experience. And so when people refer, they refer not the product, not the process, but the combination of the two. When the product is great and the process is great, that's when people feel like it's referable.
Right.
And
they feel comfortable.
Yeah. And that's what you've worked on in your business, is getting the two to match, the product and the process.
Right.
So what one piece of advice would you give to all of our listeners right here as they're trying to get those two in sync? Yeah.
Well, I think the thing that really was the game changer for my business was the system, putting that system into place, looking at, each part of the system, the paperwork part of the system, the email part of the system. Every time something came up, there were 5 other things that had to make that happen. We have Tuesday updates like Cecil does, because I set it up on Mondays that the escrow company sends me an email, my escrow company, because I mostly work with sellers, sends me an email of where everybody's at. So it's like, in order to do the Tuesday update, I needed to know what was going on with the escrow company. I got a good escrow company that would do the Monday updates. That's not the easiest thing in the world, apparently, for escrow companies. But it was that kind of thing to just look at, what did I want to happen? How did I want my clients to experience working with us, so that at the end of the process, I may not be able to get a video because a lot of my clients are out of the San Diego area.
Let's talk about a video testimonial.
Yes, and and when somebody's here, I almost always get a video testimonial. But when they're not here, I think there's a little thing about, I had something on there that just shows, a client, I asked them to write me a review of their experience, and we do give them some questions to kind of, make it easy on them.
Let me take a look at that.
This is actually little blips of the experience.
I'm Kim with Horizon Real Estate. Since we're scheduled to meet to talk about how I can best help you, I thought I would share a little bit about how I work and my commitment to you. In my opinion, the #1 marketing is to other real estate professionals. The reason I believe this is because there are buyers working with real estate agents, and when those agents become aware that your house is available for purchase, they will let their buyers know. I entice the agents and their buyers by providing up to 25 photos of the property and a well-written description onto the MLS. Before a lender will loan funds for the purchase of a property, the lender requires a professional valuation of the property by a licensed appraiser. The difference is that my commitment to you and the people you care about is for a lifetime. I look forward to our meeting.
Nice.
Thank you. Laura put that together.
Yeah, nice, Laura. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, thanks.
And those are little clips from a whole series of videos.
Yeah.
So when she says she has an evergreen video system, it's a process that from the moment the transaction begins to the time the transaction closes, there are certain communications that are consistent, predictable with almost every transaction. So if you're going to say it to one person, you're probably going to say it to every person. So how can you sit in front of a camera and tell everybody that the termite inspection is complete and here's what the next step is? Instead of having to call them, you send them the video that you're talking to everybody, but they're getting it like they're talking just directly to you. And you use that forever, which allows Kim to take the time to delegate that to somebody and the person's receiving the experience from Kim, but Kim's not pressing the button to send it.
Exactly.
Her team is doing that. Or she could be out of town and somebody could be doing all that as the transaction is occurring in real time.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is
So
beautiful.
those are just little snippets of each one. And there's a whole lot of other touch points. And we're doing them by video, we're doing them by mail, and and I'm also talking to the clients. But it's short little talks because they already got all the information from me.
Beautiful. Thank you, Kim.
You're welcome.
Good work. Would you give her a nice round of applause? Thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Good work.
Thanks.